I like to know where people stand so I know how to treat you accordingly.
They be trying to do it, I'm just doing me. I be working hard and they just want it free.
Be competitive with yourself.
Hey, what's going on? It's Jsean for another video. This video right here, I have better energy right now. I had to reshoot some videos over and over to kind of get my mind right a little bit better. This is a personal video. This is a video that it's something that I'm very conflicted about, and I don't even know if I want to share it on here. But this channel, as of right now, is not about something specific. It's not about anything specific. I mean, the channel is called my name. You know what I'm saying? It's about my life and what comes with it, whether it be anything about gaming, whether it be about business, whether it be about cars, whatever that my life, whatever comes with my life is what, and the things that I'm willing to share is what this channel is about at the moment, right? I just try to bring things that are sometimes, whether it be educational, informative, or, you know, helpful or entertaining. And for the most part, most of my videos are not very entertaining because, I mean, most of them I'm just sitting here and I'm just talking, kicking it, whatever. I haven't got to a point where I'm doing vlogs and taking you on journeys in my day. Eventually, I would like to do that. I just am not at that point at the moment. I would like to bring more of that. I'm a naturally private person, so I tend to not want to just jump out there and share everything about my life like some people are comfortable with doing. I'm just not on that level at this moment, right? That is the goal, though. So this thing right here, to me, is not a secret. It's something that has affected me very heavily. Outside of the internet, you know, people in general have a lot going on in their lives, and there's things that you just aren't aware, and depending on what people choose to share. For me, this particular circumstance with me is something that I actually already thought. I've always thought this my entire life about in a lot of different ways. So for me to find out 100%, you would think that I wouldn't be as shocked or surprised. But it's weird. Now that I know 100%, my mentality towards it is totally different. And I am shocked. And I am emotional about it. And my emotional state changes from very sad to sort of even angry, to disappointed, to confused. And the crazy thing is, I don't actually have a specific reason that I can pinpoint to that I can say where my emotional response is directed towards. I don't have a specific thing I can say or think of that makes me feel the way that I feel when I'm feeling it. I think it's because it's too many things. So from the surface, you're going to think what I'm going to tell you, maybe you may not think it's a big deal. Maybe you're going to think I should be grateful. I understand all those things. I'm still human. I'm still me. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know the depths of everything, because I'm not going to go too deep. But there's reasons why it bothers me. There's reasons why I'm not settled in the thought of it, because there's so much more to it. I'm just giving you the surface level of it, right? So let me just cut to the chase. There are some people who follow my channel who know me personally. So as you hear certain information, if it has something to do with me, that's cool. But if it has something to do with somebody else that I bring up, please have some sense and don't go up to them and be like, I heard, no, chill out. You know what I'm saying? If they choose to tell you, that's their business. See, I'm choosing to tell you from my side because I can't tell part of my story without telling these parts of it. It's part of my side, so I can't cut those parts out completely. Again, this is just surface level. So something that I found out, that I'm actually adopted. I think to a lot of people, they're like on a mindset, and usually the people who I'm referring to aren't adopted, so they're just giving their take on it. You should be grateful and thankful that they rescued you and saved you from this and that and provided this for you and they loved you. I get all that. I really do. I was here. You weren't. You get what I'm saying? I understand what my parents did. You don't. But there's a lot of things and experiences that I had growing up that I wouldn't say they cancel it out, but there's another dimension to everything that you think was provided. It was. But there was also another flip side to my experiences in life and growing up and what it felt like that now are starting to make sense to me. And now some of these questions that I had are starting to kind of come together and make sense. And they're things that I don't actually agree with. They're things now I'm realizing like, oh, that's why this was probably like this. But again, it's not a definitive thing I can say, but that's what it feels like. I didn't have a definitive answer that I was adopted, but I always felt like it. So now that I know it, I feel different than even how I was questioning it. So by me having that same idea and how I'm processing it, all these other things and questions that I have, they're just my thoughts, but I can't prove it 100%. Because I know when I know 100%, it'll bother me even worse than how I feel about it at the moment. The same way the whole adoption thing did. I was raised in a way where family was super important. My family's always been small. They've been super important, and it was always about trust. It was always about that type of honor, you know what I'm saying? It was always on that type of mindset and teaching. So to find out that this is what I'm involved, I don't know what's wrong with my camera, but so to find out this is what's going on, I don't know if my camera was blurry this whole time or what. The camera's tripping. But to find all this out now, it really bothers me because it kind of makes me feel deceived. And you don't know the whole story, but there were times where questions were asked and they weren't answered. And the way that I'm finding out now is like really, it still wasn't told to me. It was found out, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, without getting too deep into it, the only people who can really tell me any real information can't tell me anymore. Without going too deep, I just can't get the answers that for the questions I have. So a lot of people could say they took you from a worse situation and made it better. But how do you know? How do you know what my life could have been? You don't know. Does that mean I'm not grateful for where I'm at in the family that I've built? No, it doesn't. But that's part of my life still. I feel like part of my life was taken from me. And yes, part of my life was given to me. But again, who's to say which part was more important to the person himself? You can think you're doing something better for me, but you don't know what's better for me. It's my feelings on it, you know? And I feel like it's part of my life. These are questions that I just don't have answers to. This is how you start learning where you come from and your behavior, your natural instincts and behaviors come from. How do I know how to fix them and attack them and make them better or refine them when I don't know where I come from? I don't know where certain things came from. I always thought they came from something else, and apparently they didn't. And that's upsetting to me. It really is. And there were times where questions could have been answered and they weren't. They were avoided. To me, they were just, it's like we were lied to about it. You know what I'm saying? For whatever their reasons were. It's almost like this. When I understand, and I try to be very understanding on all aspects of everything in life, right? When you are a parent and you have a child and you tell them about the Tooth Fairy, you tell them about Santa Claus, there is a point in life where you explain to them, when you know that they're mature enough to understand and process the information that Santa Claus is not real, the Tooth Fairy is not real. I believe the same thing comes true when you have a child that's adopted at an early age who doesn't remember any of their past, like myself. It was never said to me, even when there was questions later on as a late adult, and there was still no answers. You get what I'm saying? So this is where I feel conflicted about the structure of the way I was raised and all these morals and standards. It's kind of like, it's very opposite of my understanding of how our household was, you know? A lot of times people leave their house and they're fake when they leave. They act differently when they leave their house because they're putting on a front, right? It's funny because for me, When I used to leave my house as a kid, I felt like I was being myself. And when I went home, I was being what they expected of me. The total opposite of what normally happens with a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always discovered and went for things that felt natural to me. So I have a brother, right? And we're actually totally different. We actually look different. We act different. We handle problems different. We see things different. Different set of friends, different types of friends, different types of hobbies and habits, right? We're totally different, but we grew up in the same household. It's like, it's just kind of weird. You know, I can't even remember what I was about to say. Let me gather my thoughts for a second. Even with that, you know, and this, okay, so I'm going to get to the other whammy part of the story. This is the crazy part that I said, if you know me personally and you watch my channel for whatever the reason, don't be going up to other people who I'm mentioning and be saying something that's their business to tell you, like directly, you know what I'm saying? But I can't tell my part of my story at all without saying certain things, at least on surface level. This is the whammy part of it. So even my brother, I found out that my brother is also adopted. And I don't know exactly how he's taking it. You'd have to ask him, but it's weird. Our whole life, everybody always said we look different. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like we try to find ways like, oh, I got my dad's nose. Oh, he got my mom's, I don't know, eyes or something like that. We kind of like putting things together that ain't even real. And to me, that makes it even worse. That, you know, because he even told me that he even thought maybe he was the one adopted. I'm thinking I'm adopted. We're thinking at least one of us. I used to joke about, not even joke, but I used to talk about it all the time. I think I'm adopted. I'm telling you, I think I'm adopted. I said this all the time. My instincts are always on point, man. God has given me that gift to have great instinct and judgment. It's not judgment, but like judging character and really picking things apart. You know what I'm saying? That's like a gift or something, because I said this years ago. But come to find out, even my brother is adopted. Now, I don't know when he was adopted, but I know for a fact I was adopted before I was even one. Came here to the States when I was one. Got my citizenship and all that, whatever. And I know a lot of people in America, they adopt from Asian countries and stuff like that. And they bring them back here, try to give them a better life. But see, my parents, they lived over there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could have been my mother couldn't have kids. It could have been all these different things, but I'll never know now. Some people want me to just assume the best and the better of everything, which I do, but that's still my life and my story. Yeah, I could have been worse off. But if you believe I could have been worse off, I could have also been better off. You can't play that card and not look at both sides. Not the side that you want it to be. I know that it could have been worse for me, but I also know the same chances I had for it to be worse, it could have been better. I don't discard that part of it and that possibility of it. I don't know my history. I don't know where I'm really from. I don't know these details. I literally could have blood brothers and sisters and all kind of shit. Like, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. And the thing with my brother, man, I still love him and he's still my brother. I get that. Yeah, we still cool. But, or not cool, but we're still on a loving brother. We here, we good. But technically, my parents, technically, my brother, technically they're my parents. Technically, he's my brother. But on the flip side, technically they're not my parents. Technically, he's not even my brother. That really messes with my head. That really messes with my head. It's not like I'm a little kid. It ain't like I'm 5 years old, 10 years old even, and you get a chance to like undo some of these things that you've been trained almost to accept and understand about your life. This is embedded in my head for so many years now. You get what I'm saying? These are things that Now, when I look back, I just feel like, without getting too deep into things, I feel like certain things make sense. I have kids, and I'm connected to my kids, even as the man, right? I mean, men even get postpartum. You're connected to that process, like the woman is connected, deep rooted with having a child in the womb, etc., right? There's certain things that can't be duplicated. That connection, at least from my perspective, I'm not saying you can't feel connected or not connected, but I'm telling you that there's another side to how you feel, just like there's another side to how I feel. My way is not the only way to think, and neither is yours. There's all of it. So you don't know which side the person is dealing with, right? That connection is hard to duplicate. I'm not saying you can't love a person who's adopted. I'm not saying you can't have a connection with somebody who's adopted. What I'm saying is, in my household, things that I've experienced kind of start making sense to me, because in reality, I really didn't have very loving father, mother, or even brother moments. It was almost like, I do love my dad. I do love my mother. But the type of love that we had wasn't like I have with my kids. It's almost like the love that I have is more on the respect level of who they are in my life than the bond and the memories that we share together. Because I don't have very many like loving memories with my parents or my brother. So I used to blame it on the military background, the Asian background, and now I'm realizing maybe that's part of it, but that is not all of it. Because if you know anybody in the military, there's a lot of mixed races. There's a lot of black and Asian, white and Asian. It's like you kind of think it's normal. You get what I'm saying? You know, that's not enough to make you feel like, something's not right. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been on my own path. I've always aimed for my own things and what I'm drawn to naturally. I've never, like, there's people in here who's left comments before like, oh man, you want to be this, you want to be that, man, you got braids, you talk like this. Hey, look, man, the way I talk is how I talk. I can't help it. Even so, put it this way: if I talk like regular degler, super refined English, then you would think that's not being myself either, because I ain't white at all. I ain't Caucasian of any kind. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, if I'm talking with a little bit of accent, well, this is how my path has led me to be and be around. I can't help it. You know what I mean? This is the environment I was around. This is the people I was around, and it's rubbed off on me in the way I talk, the way I behave, and the way I act. But I'm still me. I'm still not somebody who's just like, so put it this way, like, even growing up, I dabbled in things in the street. But I haven't become a street person because of it. I've taken experiences from it, and the parts that were meant for me to keep, and the way I think and the way I process information is still here. But I'm not a street guy. You get what I'm saying? So if the way I behave and the way I talk and communicate, that is just something that's natural to me. It's not something that is an act. You're not going to catch me talking like something and then see me somewhere else talking like, hello, sir. Like, well, I say sir, but I'm saying it's like, you're not going to catch me talking in any other form. There's times where people say I have some type of accent that's overwhelming, and I'll be like, I don't even hear it. I'm actually trying to talk very proper on purpose. It's just the way I talk. It will never go away. I don't know what to tell whoever's listening and thinking it's some kind of actor show. I saw a BT one day and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be like this. No, I don't know. Even when I first grew my hair, which was way, 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 way long ago, it's just something that I saw. I didn't see it as like a certain type of culture. I just saw it and I liked it and I was gravitated towards it. And I felt like it would look right on me. That's how it started. It wasn't because I was trying to be something I wasn't or anything like that. I was so young at the time, I didn't even process it like a color thing or a culture thing. You get what I'm saying? I saw something I liked, and that was it. And I felt like it suited me. Just like if I saw a car and I thought it looked like cool looking, but I didn't know only white people can drive this car. It ain't like that. I just liked it, and I didn't know about any of those other things in between of it. You know what I'm saying? Or in between that. So I'm getting a little off tangent. I think this is as deep as I want to go with this on the surface level. I do see a lot of videos online when I searched it on YouTube where it talked about being adopted. And I noticed there's a lot of Asians up in there. Don't know their story, didn't listen to their videos, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just tired of hearing the same response from people who is not in my shoes saying stuff like they still loved you and, you know, they helped you and all this other stuff. Because at the end of the day, if they were to tell me this news at an earlier age, if they were hiding something, I mean, this is why people don't tell people things. They're hiding something from you. Like, oh, your parents were drug addicts or they were murderers and they don't want to tell you these details because it would hurt you. Why are you thinking for my feelings? It's like I have the right to know what my history was. You can think you know what's best for me, but it's my right to know. It's my right to be upset or not care about it. But that's the right that I have that you took from me. So if they would have talked to me at an early age and I didn't like it and say I was like pissed about it and I was mad at them for it. Well, guess what? I'm not saying I would have been mad. Hopefully I wouldn't have, but I'm just saying I have the right to feel that way. And they took that from me. They didn't have that conversation with me and now I can never have it. So it's just like you made an adult decision and then now you should have continued to that adult decision and had a conversation like an adult with an adult. And it would have been up to me to feel how I felt or feel about it. Because now I don't know what I feel about it. I'm more confused than ever about it. I'm very bothered by it. I sit and find myself with my eyes watering about it and confused why I'm even having watery eyes about it. I don't know. There's just so much. And it's not like I'm on a level of like, oh, I got to find out who my real parents are. I'm not even thinking that. I'm not saying that I would never be curious about it. Because the more time goes by, I am kind of curious, like, dang, well, what's going on with this, whoever I am? And I don't even know who I am. You get what I'm saying? So the thing of it is, it's like, I don't know, man. A lot of things start making sense to me now. The crazy part is I feel almost alone. Like, I'm not the lonely type, okay? I can be by myself and be good, but it just starts feeling alone. Like, I always had a small family, and now I'm realizing the family I have is not even connected to me blood-wise. And what makes it worse, too, is that the small family I do have on one half of my family, apparently they knew about it, or some degree of it. I'm going to tell you right now, they only know what my parents wanted them to know about it, 100%. But the thing of it is, it's like everybody knew this secret except me and my brother. That rubs me the wrong way. Now, I know it's not their place to tell me, but still, it don't matter. Like, that's not my part of that to worry about. I'm not making an excuse for everybody else. It's still my life. It's still my decisions. It's still me that has the right to know these things. You know what I'm saying? So anybody out there who adopts children, I commend you for it. You took them out of a worse situation and gave them new life, etc. But I'm telling you right now, man, unless you are adopted, you can't say what's best for them and how they'll handle something emotionally and what's better for them emotionally. I'm not saying what's better for them like structure-wise or career-wise and all these other things. I'm saying emotionally, you can't say what's best for the person who's actually being adopted. You have to consider their feelings and how they accept that information. Some people may not care at all. And maybe I shouldn't care at all because I'm here now. But I do care. I care a lot. I care a lot based on how I was raised. It makes me question everything. If you talk to me and I found out that you were like you inspired me, it almost felt like you were mentoring me, and then I find out that you were lying about a few of those things, it would make me question everything that you said to me. That's kind of how I feel. I'm not saying that everything was not true, everything was not informative. I'm just saying it would make me question and doubt a lot of things that you say. And based on the way I was raised, I mean, one thing they gave me was manners for sure. But one thing that I take from it all is just that you can't start relationships of any kind, whether it be an adoption, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, wife. You can't start it off with lies or a lie. It's up for the person to make that decision, whether they want to accept that issue or situation or not. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to get all disappointed because my energy was high and now it's kind of getting low again. Like I said, man, I'm feeling bipolar with all this. I don't know what to think about any of it. And then my paperwork that I found, it literally said that I was like on some orphan tip. It said I was abandoned. It said my parents didn't exist. I don't know if that's generic orphan talk, and that's just what they put on the paperwork, because apparently even the name they put on the paperwork was provided more than likely 99.999% by the orphanage itself. So that's not even probably my family name original, you know what I'm saying? Or it's probably not my original family's name at all either. Just some generic name that they've given kids at a certain time frame who may have been there at that time. So when it says stuff like abandoned, does that mean I was like literally like abandoned on the street in a little basket? You know what I'm saying? Was the parents dead because of this, because of that? Did it give me up for a bowl of rice? Like, I don't even know. It'd be nice to know stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, my brother, if you ever watch this, man, just know that I love you the same. Our relationship was always like weird. Not close as some brothers were, but we were always brothers. You know what I'm saying? And we always will be. And I love you no matter what. And I still love my parents. It's just that I understand why I never felt so close. I understand why we were as a whole was never that close. Technically, you're my parents, but technically you're not. And that technical part is bothering me because you didn't give me that choice to feel how I should have felt. You know what I'm saying? My brother has nothing to do with it because he's in the same position as me. He has no say in anything. He had no knowledge of these things. So I can't hold issues with him in any kind of way. But it's like my parents, they had information that they chose to not share. Yeah. So that's pretty much it, man. And I'm going to still put this on the same level as I always say, you know. All right, man. So I'm going to end this video. It's kind of getting sad for me. Make sure you do everything at top level, at your top level, because remember, you're no competition with anybody except yourself. So make sure your next move is your best move, or at least your better move. Till next time. Later. Peace.